Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program that you can use to enter data. Just like in Microsoft Word, how you have the little blinky line for your cursor, in Microsoft Excel you have the black box. Right now I am in cell A1. Just like when you played Battleship, how you would call out to sink your opponent's ship, you take the column and the number, put it together to get the cell's address. You'll notice right now I can highlight. Right now I have a range of cells highlighted. I have A1 through A5 highlighted. Another nice feature of Excel is the auto fill-in feature. The auto fill-in feature, also commonly referred to as the autocomplete feature, works with patterns. So for instance, if I want the even numbers and don't want to type them all out, I can type a couple so that I get the pattern. I highlight it. I put my mouse at the bottom right hand corner over that little bitty box. I click, hold, and drag. And as far down as I drag, it fills in the numbers. The auto fill-in feature also works with abbreviations such as MON for Monday. Or the months of the year. Any kind of pattern that you can think of, Excel will fill it in. Next, I would like to talk to you about the idea of a formula. Microsoft Excel has formulas in it that allow us to make calculations based on the values in other cells. So, for instance, let's say right here I wanted to have the answer to 6 plus 1. I could do that using a formula. Every formula has to start with an equal sign because that's telling Excel, hey, we're going to have a formula here. Now, we're going to use the cell address. We're going to type A6 plus B6. What that is telling us is that we want to take the value in cell A6 and we want to add that to the value in cell B6. Once I hit the enter key, you'll notice we get 7. Subtraction would work the same way. Equals A6 minus B6. There again, take the value that's in cell A6 and subtract off the value in cell B6. Multiplication equals A6 times B6. Division, same story, equals A6 divided by B6. Now, if I want to double click one of the cells, you'll notice that A6 is in blue and the B6 is in green. That's just a nice thing that Excel does for you to show you which cells you have referenced in that particular formula. Now, as we talked about earlier, the autocomplete feature still works. I highlight everything, I put my mouse over here at the bottom right hand corner and drag it down. One nice feature about the formula is that if any of these values over here change, the cells that reference that data point will change as well. So, for instance, let's say I didn't type this number in right and I should have put a 20. When I change this to 20 and hit enter, every single one of these cells over here, the returned value is going to change. Just like that, you'll notice they all changed. Next, I would like to talk to you about some predefined formulas that Microsoft Excel already has set up for us. Those three of those formulas are the max, the minimum, and the sum formulas. The maximum formula will return for you or give you an answer of the biggest number that you choose from. So, just like before, we have to have an equal sign to start off the formula, and we will put max, and then we're going to do open parenthesis. Now, my range of numbers is over here in cells A1 through A7. So I'm going to put A1 through, you'll notice I've got a colon there, that's the dot dot, A7. And then don't forget to close your parenthesis. So that's read as what is the maximum value in the cell range of A1 through A7. When I hit the enter sign, it gives me a 9 because obviously 9 is the biggest number over here. The minimum formula works the exact same way. Equals min, open parenthesis, A1 through A7. Once again, don't forget to put your parenthesis in there to close it off. That return value is 0 because obviously 0 is the smallest number over here. The sum formula will return for me all of the numbers added up. So we're going to start off with equals sum, open parenthesis, A1 through A7. Now, just like before, if any of those numbers change, these values over here that are returned to us, in other words, the answers, will change as well. So if I change this 0 to say a -5, well then you'll notice that this changed to a -5 and this decreased by 5 as well. Whereas if the 9 went to a 20, you'll notice the max value and the sum also changed once again. Remember, a formula, the return value in a formula will change if the data changes as well. Now I want to talk to you about gross and net profit. Let's say a friend of yours comes up to you and says, "Hey, I want you to build me a doghouse and I want you to do it for $40. Does that mean you get to take this $40 and go spend it on whatever you want?" The answer is no, because you have to pay for things like the shingles and the paint and the screws, the nails, the carpet, the toiletry items, the bathroom, the sink, the dishwasher, and anything and everything else that might possibly go into making a doghouse. The gross profit is the money that you make before you pay your expenses, and the net profit is the amount of money you make after you pay for your expenses. So, let's look at this particular example right here. The gross profit on this example would be the $40. Now, the net profit's going to be a little bit different. We're going to take the $40 and we're going to subtract off our expenses. Now, let's say our expenses to build this doghouse was $25. In other words, the $25 went to paying for the paint, the wood, the screws, the carpet, and all that kind of stuff. That means I actually got to keep $15. Therefore, because of that, my net profit is $15. To find your net profit, you take the gross, which is the money coming in, subtract off your expenses, and whatever's left over is yours to keep for net profit.